You have probably said it without noticing. You have probably whispered to yourself, "I am anxious," or "I am lonely," instead of saying, "I am feeling anxious," or "I am feeling lonely." And in that small change of words, you may have unknowingly handed your entire identity to a fleeting state of mind. Imagine how heavy that feels, carrying sadness not as a passing cloud, but as who you believe you are. Carrying fear not as an emotion, but as the definition of your character. When this happens, life feels suffocating. Every small challenge looks like a permanent failure. Every single doubt becomes proof that you are broken. And every quiet night feels like a confirmation that you are alone. This is the hidden trap that keeps so many people stuck. Because when you merge your being with an emotion, you stop seeing it as temporary energy and start treating it as destiny. Science has shown another way. Research at UCLA revealed that simply naming an emotion out loud reduces the overactivity in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear and reactivity, proving that labeling creates space and brings calm. Think of emotions as weather passing through the sky. They come and they go. Yet, when you mistake the storm for the entire sky, you live as if you will never see the sun again. In New York, a young woman lost her job and kept repeating, "I am a failure." She carried that statement into every conversation, every mirror she looked into, and soon she fell into a deep depression. Only when she practiced shifting her words to "I am experiencing disappointment right now" did she begin to feel the weight lift. She realized she was not the failure, she was a person passing through a season. That simple awareness allowed her to start again. If you have ever fused with your emotions, if you have ever mistaken temporary feelings for your permanent self, leave a comment saying, "I have felt this too," and press like to remind yourself to separate who you are from what you feel. And here is the question to open the next chapter. If emotions are not truly you, then what are they really? Emotions are not your identity. They are simply energy moving through your body. They rise, they shift, and they fade, just like waves that crash on the shore and then dissolve back into the ocean. When you begin to see them this way, the weight they carry softens, because instead of being the definition of who you are, they become signals trying to deliver a message. Think about anger for a moment. It is not proof that you are an angry person. It is more like a notification on your phone that lights up the screen and says, "Look here, pay attention, something needs your care." The same is true for sadness. It is not the truth of your entire life. It is energy whispering that something meaningful has been lost. Fear is not weakness. It is the body telling you to slow down, to check the path ahead. This shift of perspective can change everything. Daniel Goleman, the author who gave the world the concept of emotional intelligence, said it clearly: emotions are data, not directives. That means they contain information, but they do not control your destiny unless you let them. Once you start to see emotions as information, you gain power, because data can be interpreted and choices can be made. A businessman in Silicon Valley once treated his anxiety as a flaw. He thought it was proof that he was not strong enough, and for years he tried to bury it under endless work. But when he learned to listen differently, he noticed that his anxiety was pointing to something missing. He realized it was asking for clarity, and by redesigning his systems, setting better boundaries, and bringing more order, he turned what once felt like chains into a compass. That change allowed him to grow his company with more calm and presence, instead of burning out. Imagine what it would be like if you too could see your emotions as guides, as visitors bringing a note, instead of masters controlling your fate. This does not mean you ignore them. It means you read them, just like you would read a map before continuing your journey. When you shift from judgment to curiosity, emotions lose their grip, and you gain space to act with freedom. If you want to transform feelings into a compass instead of a cage, then follow right now, because the next parts will completely reshape how you see your life. And here is the question for what comes next. If emotions are signals, how do we stop reacting blindly and begin observing with clarity? The key is to create distance between me and the emotion. When you place even a small space between your awareness and the storm rising inside, you suddenly shift from being the storm to being the sky. This shift gives you power, because now you can see the feeling without being swallowed by it. Imagine a time you were stuck in traffic, someone cut you off, and anger surged through your chest. If in that moment you had paused, taken a slow breath, and labeled the sensation as anger rising, the situation could have unfolded very differently. Instead of escalating, the fire would have cooled with each breath. This practice is known as label and breathe. It sounds simple, yet it has remarkable strength. By giving a name to the emotion, you take away its grip, because language helps the brain move activity from the limbic system to the prefrontal cortex. Science supports this. A Harvard study in 2010 found that people who practiced mindfulness regularly experienced a 40% reduction in stress after just 8 weeks. That is not small. That is transformation proven by data. Think of emotions as clouds drifting across the sky. You are the sky, vast and steady. The cloud may be dark, heavy, even stormy, but it passes, and the sky remains. When you begin to practice in daily life, this becomes real. A veteran from Texas who lived with post-traumatic stress once shared how meditation saved him. For years, panic swallowed him whole, leaving him breathless and trapped. But when he learned to simply say, "This is fear," and then breathe, the panic began to lose control. Over months, the shadows that once haunted him started to fade. He no longer drowned in fear. He could stand in it, breathe through it, and let it pass. This is the art of observation, not reacting, only witnessing. And the beauty is that you do not need hours, you need moments. One pause, one breath, one label. That is enough to change a day. Next time you feel pressure rising, try this. Name it, breathe 3 times, and watch. Then return here and share in the comments. Did it change you? Now ask yourself, why is it that such small emotions can explode into powerful reactions? Because present emotions are often echoes from an old wound that has not yet healed. What you feel right now may seem like it belongs to this moment, but often it is a doorway back to memories buried deep inside the body. A simple event in daily life, like a message left unanswered, can suddenly feel like abandonment. But if you look closer, you realize the intensity has little to do with this person or this time. It is the past knocking, asking to be seen. This is the nature of triggers. They are not random. They are signals pointing to earlier moments where you felt powerless, unseen, or hurt. When the same energy arises again, your system reacts as if it is still there. Bessel van der Kolk, one of the leading voices in trauma research, showed that the body literally keeps the score. The nervous system holds emotional memory even when the conscious mind has forgotten. That is why the reaction can feel overwhelming. It is not that you are weak or overreacting. It is that your body is trying to protect you from pain it remembers. Imagine a woman in Chicago who shivered every time her boss raised his voice. To others it seemed strange, but for her it was not about the present office. It was the sound of her father's anger when she was a child. Her nervous system could not tell the difference. Once she realized this, she began to understand that her fear was not about her boss, but about a little girl inside her still wanting safety. This is the power of awareness. When you see triggers as windows into the past, you stop blaming yourself and start to notice the pattern. Instead of fighting the reaction, you can acknowledge it. You can say, this fear belongs to an earlier chapter, not to who I am today. When you do this, the grip begins to loosen. The more you practice, the more space you create between the past and the present. So the next time you feel a strong wave of emotion, pause and ask, is this really about now, or is it a memory asking to be healed? If you have ever been triggered by something small, write in the comments, I understand now, and share this video so someone else can stop blaming themselves. Now, let us go deeper. How can we transform triggers from an enemy into a teacher? See every trigger as a mirror reflecting hidden beliefs. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of emotions that appear without warning, you can shift into the role of a student. Every reaction carries a lesson. When you feel jealousy, it may not mean you are small or flawed. It may be showing you a desire you have buried, a longing waiting to be acknowledged. Triggers shine a light on what lives in the shadows. The question to ask is simple yet powerful. What belief is this trigger showing me? When you pause long enough to ask, the answer often points to an old need or a hidden story about your worth. Cognitive behavioral therapy has demonstrated this clearly. Patients who learn to identify the core belief beneath their reactions begin to break free from patterns that once ruled their lives. Because when you see the belief, you can choose. You are no longer blind to the script that has been running silently in the background. Take the story of a young man from Los Angeles. He grew up being told he was not good enough. As an adult, every time someone gave him feedback, he exploded with anger. To him, it felt like an attack. But when he began to explore deeper, he discovered that his irritation was not really about the feedback. It was a reflection of his buried belief, I am not good enough. Once he saw that, the anger lost much of its fire. He realized the criticism was not a verdict on his value, but simply information he could use. That shift allowed him to respond instead of react. This is the transformation available to you. Each trigger is not a punishment, it is a guide. It points you toward the belief that is asking for your attention. When you notice the pattern, you create room to grow. So next time you feel the sting of being triggered, write it down. Ask, what belief does this reflect? Share your answer in the comments to begin your own journey of awareness. And remember, you are not broken. You are being invited to see yourself more clearly. Now the question becomes, how do we reprogram these deeply rooted reactions in the nervous system so that we are no longer bound by them? By repeating observation instead of reaction, you are walking a new neural path. The brain is not fixed, it is alive, flexible, and capable of rewriting its own wiring. Imagine your mind as a vast forest. Every time you take the same path, it becomes more clear, more automatic. That is how habits are formed. If the path you keep walking is anger, fear, or stress, that becomes the road most traveled. But when you stop, breathe, and choose differently, you are carving out a fresh trail. At first it feels difficult because the old road is familiar. But with practice, the new trail becomes easier to follow until one day it is your default. This is the power of neuroplasticity. Science has shown that the brain literally reshapes itself according to repeated experience. One famous study looked at London taxi drivers who had to memorize complex routes. Their hippocampus, the area related to navigation, grew larger with training. The brain changed because they practiced over and over. In the same way, when you practice pausing instead of exploding, when you practice labeling instead of drowning, your brain is reorganizing. You are rewiring for peace. Think of a teacher in Seattle who once lost her temper with her students almost daily. She felt ashamed but could not break the habit. Then she started a simple routine: pause, breathe, label. Each time frustration rose, she named it and took a breath. At first, the old road pulled hard, but with repetition, something shifted. Her students noticed she was calmer, more steady, even in chaos. She had built a new pattern in her nervous system, one that led to patience instead of rage. This shows what is possible for anyone willing to practice. You are not stuck with the brain you had yesterday. Each choice is a chance to walk toward peace or toward stress. The more often you choose awareness, the stronger that pathway becomes. So ask yourself, do you want your brain to travel the path of calm or the path of tension? Comment your choice right now to claim it, because what you declare helps you stay on the journey. And here is the question to carry forward: what happens when peace stops being effort and becomes your natural state? When you practice long enough, peace stops being a fleeting moment and becomes a foundation. At first, it feels like catching brief glimpses of calm between storms, but over time the calm itself becomes the ground you walk on. It is no longer something you visit, it is something you live in. Think about standing on the shore and watching waves crash in front of you. The surface looks chaotic, yet deep down, the ocean remains steady. That is what happens inside your nervous system when peace becomes the baseline. Instead of being tossed around by every emotion, you become like the sky holding the weather. Storms still appear, but they pass without shaking your core. Science backs this up. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that when people maintain a state called coherence, where the heart and brain are in sync, stress levels drop, the immune system strengthens, and emotional balance improves. This is not abstract, it is measurable, and it changes lives. A single mother in Florida used to live with constant anxiety. Bills, work, parenting alone, all kept her on edge. She began meditating daily, even if only 10 minutes. At first it seemed small, but as months passed, her daughter noticed. One evening, the girl said, "Mum, you are different now, calm like the sea." That reflection showed her how far she had come. Peace was no longer a vacation she longed for, it was her new home. Imagine the relief of no longer chasing calm, but living in it. The nervous system learns stability, and your relationships feel it too. People around you sense the steadiness, and they respond differently. Peace spreads. This is the reward of the journey. Not the absence of challenges, but the presence of a quiet strength that holds you steady no matter what comes. If you want peace to be your home instead of a holiday, follow now and stay with this path. Because the longer you walk it, the more natural it becomes. And here is the next question to explore. How can you live your whole life as the observer, not just during meditation? When observation becomes a way of living, every choice and every action begins to change. It is no longer a technique you pull out when you feel overwhelmed. It becomes your identity. Think about the difference this makes. In every argument, instead of jumping to defend or attack, You notice your breath. You notice your heartbeat. You witness the rising wave of anger without drowning in it. Suddenly, the conversation shifts because you are not adding fuel to the fire. You are holding space for clarity. This shift is not small. It is a revolution in how you relate to yourself and others. Each reaction is like a vote you cast for the kind of future you want to live. If you keep voting for reactivity, you reinforce chaos. If you keep voting for presence, you reinforce peace. Over time, those votes accumulate into your destiny. Even science points to the power of observation. In quantum physics, the observer effect shows that particles behave differently when observed. The very act of paying attention changes reality. In the same way, your awareness shapes your life. It is not passive, it is creative. Real people embody this. A CEO in San Francisco used to be known for his temper. Meetings were tense because people feared his explosions. Then he learned to live as the observer. At first, his team noticed he paused before responding. Later, they realized he had become a calm and reliable leader. Employees started to trust him more, not because he had all the answers, but because he no longer reacted from impulse. His presence steadied the room. This is what happens when you adopt the role of witness in your everyday life. It ripples outward. Relationships heal, work improves, even your health benefits. You move from surviving to creating. The best part is that this new identity is available to anyone willing to practice. The observer is already inside you, waiting to step forward. If you want your new identity to be the observer instead of the reactor, type yes in the comments to mark this shift right now, because the moment you choose it, the shift has already begun. And now comes the next question. When your identity itself changes, what will happen to your future? When you live from observation, every choice is a signal sent into the energy field of the universe. This is not just a poetic idea, it is a lived reality. Every time you pause, instead of reacting, you shift the vibration you emit. Each thought, each word, each response carries a frequency, and those frequencies shape the path ahead. Imagine that every reply to an email, every glance toward a stranger, every decision to breathe before speaking is like a brushstroke painting the canvas of your future. You are not a passive traveler, you are an active author of timelines. Science supports this vision. Quantum theory shows that the act of observing alters the outcome. The state of the observer determines what unfolds. In your daily life, this means that by embodying awareness, you literally bend your trajectory. Consider the story of an athlete in Boston. He lived for years in anger, letting it poison his training and relationships. His body broke down, his career stalled. Then he learned to step back, to witness the rage as energy moving through him. He no longer fused with it. Over time, his performance returned, stronger than before. Observing, instead of reacting, gave him not only medals, but also a new identity. This is the hidden power of awareness. You are broadcasting signals into the field every moment. Do you want those signals to be shaped by old wounds or by conscious presence? Each time you choose to observe, you are voting for a new future. Each time you resist old patterns, you create a new timeline. It is not about controlling the universe. It is about aligning with it. Life responds to the energy you send out. And the beauty is that you can choose again right now. Do you want to create your future through old reactions or through new observation? Comment below, I choose observation, to claim your shift. This is not a small act. It is a declaration to yourself and to the universe. You are no longer bound to the past. You are shaping what comes next with every breath you take. And now, the most important question arises. What is the very next step you must take right now to begin this journey? The next step is the small action. Begin right now. You do not need a grand plan or a perfect moment. Change begins with one pause, one breath, one choice to observe instead of react. Imagine this clearly. You are about to lash out. Then you stop, name the emotion, breathe deeply, and in that moment you alter an entire future. This is how transformation unfolds, not in huge leaps, but in simple shifts, repeated until they reshape the path. Remember what we explored together. Feelings are signals. Observation is the practice. Triggers are teachers. Through practice, the brain rewires itself. Peace becomes identity. From there, you write new futures. This is the cycle, and you hold the power to begin today. The story of a young man in Texas proves it. He drowned his stress in alcohol, lost his way, and hurt his family. Then he discovered the art of watching rather than reacting. Slowly, he broke free from the loop. Over time, he rebuilt his home, his health, and his hope. His life was rewritten by a simple shift of awareness. You too can step into that shift. Right now, if what I share has touched something inside you, take the action. Like this video to signal your presence. Leave a comment with the emotion you will choose to observe this week. Follow this channel so you do not miss the next steps in expanding your awareness, because this is not just a video. This is an invitation for you to rewrite your story. Your participation matters. Every like, every word you write, every follow is a declaration that you are stepping onto a new path. You are saying yes to peace, yes to clarity, yes to a future. Authored by choice, not by reaction. And I want you to hear this carefully. Thank you for choosing to watch this among millions of other options. That choice alone proves that you are ready to walk into a new journey of your own. It proves you are not passive. You are awake, and today, with one small action, you begin